Towards the end of season 1, we started to notice something called inflation. This means a lot of players were reaching ranks that they didn't really belong in. Even right now, you probably still see people in your games that you really feel they do not belong in your matches. This is what we call inflation. It's not just a Marvel Rivals thing. Every game in history that has a ranked system always has players in areas that they don't belong in. Maybe they got lucky, maybe they had a friend help them, a group, whatever. It still happens. One of the main roles attacked for inflation were the supports, the strategists. However, that's not the only type of character or role that ends up being inflated. So yes, we're not talking about inflation. We're talking about diveflation. What do I mean? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk diveflation. Quick disclaimer, I'm going to be getting real. Usually these Let's Talks are very real and they're very one-to-one. I don't like to lie. I want to be honest. I want to say what's on my mind, and I want to encourage you as well to do it in the comments below and say what's on your mind. Just please be respectful to everybody. So what do I mean by this diveflation? What is that? Well, for the most part, you guys probably already understand what it means. Diveflation. This is pretty much when characters boost you in rank because they are very, very hard to deal with, especially if there's like 3 or 4 divers on one team. That becomes ridiculous. So I coined the term diveflation. Now you might be wondering, how did I even come up with this? What's going on? Well, there's no news flash that if you play Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Captain America, Hulk, if you play these dive characters, you're obviously going to climb faster than someone's playing Doctor Strange or Hawkeye or, you know, these other characters that require more Marvel Rivals type gameplay, more strategy gameplay than just kind of being really mechanical and running at people and just having a very, very hard time dealing with you. It's not a shocker. We know this. And I feel like that's a problem. Divers in this game should not be so freaking strong that it boosts your rank just by playing the character. That makes no sense, especially because you're not learning the fundamentals of the game. Now, as you guys know, I'm an Eternity/One Above All player. I also coach the game if you guys didn't know, and I give free VOD reviews. Check the link down below. However, due to this rank reset, I have to climb through Grandmaster again to get back there. And let me tell you, Grandmaster right now is one of the worst ranks ever this season, ever. By far, Grandmaster is the worst. Why is Grandmaster the worst right now? Well, a lot of players that hit Eternity last season or Celestial, well, actually, or One Above All. Well, I feel like if you hit One Above All, you're not really part of the diveflation. Like it takes work. So I'm not even gonna add them. But if you've hit Eternity or you've hit Celestial, you're most likely in Grandmaster right now, most likely. And that's because you can't get out. One of the reasons why you can't get out is because you don't understand how to play the game at a fundamental level. All you understand is how to play your character very well. And the sad part about divers, or really, really, really difficult characters to deal with, like Human Torch, Iron Man, you know, these really difficult characters, they tend to not teach you how to play Marvel Rivals. They teach you how to be cheap. They teach you how to be broken. They teach you just the wrong side of the game. As I said, I'm going to be honest. I don't want you guys, it's honesty here. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel. I could be wrong. It's just a talk. I'm just saying. But this is why a lot of the times you will not see a Spider-Man swap. You won't see a Black Panther swap, a Magic swap. These players only swap to other divers or other characters alike. There's a lot of cheap type characters in this game that just allow you to get way more wins than you really should because the enemy team doesn't know how to deal with you. Now, in most games, there are characters like this. League of Legends, if anybody has ever played it, it is Master Yi. Very hard, different character to deal with when you're in lower ranks, but once you get to higher ranks, it's nothing. I haven't played Overwatch in a long time, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Tracer or Sombra, back when I played, was a threat to everybody. Like, until you get to higher ranks, people don't know how to deal with you. So yes, every game typically has characters like this. The issue that I have with Marvel Rivals right now is that there's a boatload of characters like this. Now, getting back on track of what I was talking about, a lot of these players that tend to play Magic, Iron Fist, Black Panther, Human Torch, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, whatever, if you tell them to swap, they swap to something else. That is just like that. They never swap. You never see a Cap or a Hulk swap to Doctor Strange or Magneto. You never see a Iron Fist or Magic or Black Panther or Spider-Man swap to something like Hawkeye or Hela or Squirrel Girl, maybe Squirrel Girl. But you never really see them swap to something that needs a better understanding of how to play Marvel Rivals the right way to help you get your win. This is why a lot of the times these divers will default to playing support. And most of the time, let's be honest, they don't really do that well there either. They just play Rocket and then like they still KO 40 times on Rocket somehow. They forget to use the beacon. You guys know the type of people I'm talking about. Now, this isn't a shame video, by the way. So if you are those type of players, this isn't a shame video, but I did want to address it because I feel like we're having a lot of people be inflated just for playing a specific character. And I really want this rank system to go well. If you guys haven't noticed, a lot of the support players are unable to climb again that were inflated last season. Again, inflation happens in every game. It is not a Marvel Rivals specific thing. This type of stuff just happens in rank ladders, and I'm just addressing it here. So I'm not saying Marvel Rivals is bad at ranking or anything like that. This is normal. So a lot of support players that did kind of get to high ranks by accident or by having their friends carry them or things like that, it doesn't work anymore because of the performance-based system. I'm only bringing this up because next season, I haven't read the patch notes yet. If you guys want to see my thoughts on it, I always stream the patch notes on the day that it drops, the actual game that it drops. So make sure you check that out if you guys are curious about what I think about the patch notes. Again, subscribe that way you're notified. But I've heard from a lot of sources, my Discord, my YouTube comments, Twitter, like and their dev blog, obviously, that they're nerfing divers. They're nerfing certain characters that are extremely difficult to deal with because they don't want it to be like that. And Spider-Man's also losing his symbiote. His symbiote thing power. He's losing that now. So a lot of these characters are getting dropped kind of drastically, so to speak. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people feel like it's drastic, and I think it needs to happen. So you might be wondering, Poppin', I get what you're saying, but like, how do you know someone's inflated in an inflated diver or something like that? Like, it doesn't make sense. What's wrong with playing divers? Nothing. But I've been doing an experiment in every single rank. And what I've been doing was whenever I get someone on my team, I would avoid them. Whether or not we win or lose, I'd avoid them if they're a diver. And then if I see them on the enemy team, I'm banning them out. I want to see how they react. And a lot of the times, they don't know how to do anything else. Literally, they auto lose the match. That is not correct. You should know how to play Marvel Rivals. If you're a Grandmaster player or a Celestial player, like by that point, you need to understand how to play the game. The fact that a lot of these players are climbing because we're playing Spider-Man, Iron Fist, they're playing all these like dive overloaded characters. It kind of makes me a little upset, just a little bit. Not because of my matches are being ruined, but there's a lot of you guys that understand the game way better than a lot of these other players that play these things that I've come across. Not saying all dive players are like this, but this is the ones that I've come across. You guys understand how to play Marvel Rivals at a way higher level than they do. The difference is you guys aren't playing dive characters. So the fact that you understand how to play Marvel Rivals to a T, to its fundamental basic level, how to take angles, how to push a point, how to retreat with your team, how to regroup, all this extra stuff. You understand this in your bronze, silver, gold, but there's Grandmaster players, there's Celestial players that play Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Hulk, Captain America. I mean, the list goes on with all these dive characters, and they get away with it, and they get higher ranks without understanding how to play the game. I think this particular thing needs to be addressed because there is no way that any game should allow a specific class to run through ranks. I understand winning more matches with that class, but you should not be able to climb higher learning nothing. The only thing that dive players generally learn is how to play their dive character better. If you're a Spider-Man player, bajillion of your time is spent into how to play Spider-Man, how to do combos. Black Panther, same way. Iron Fist, same way. Like all of your information that you're getting and that you're trying to learn and that you're inputting into the game has nothing to do with Marvel Rivals. You guys are all playing your own games, right? And as a dive player myself, I understand this because that's how I learned how to dive too. You're not focused on how to play Marvel Rivals. You're focused on your character and you're focused on how to dive. Like that's how it is. But I also make sure that I'm more well-rounded than a lot of the players, so I do understand how to play at a fundamental level. Again, I just wanted to make this Let's Talk video. I wanted to know what you guys thought about it, whether you are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, Grandmaster, Celestial, Eternity, whatever. Have you guys noticed this yourselves? Have you guys noticed that when you're asking a dive player to swap off of a dive character, they don't have any other options, they only know that one character? And have you noticed that they might not understand how to play the game properly, they only know how to dive? If that does not work, if there's 3 healers, if someone contest them, they can't do what they usually do. They crumble and then they don't know how to play the game anymore. Let me know down in the comments below. Again, I'm not attacking any dive player. I'm a dive player myself. I like dive characters too. But what I'm saying is, in my experience on PC and on console, players tend to be climbing without learning the game. But yeah, I call it Diveflation. Again, I just want to rehash it one more time. Not every player is like this. I'm just talking about specific ones that I've run into. There's many players that I've run into that if you ban them out, if their tactic isn't working, they don't know how to play Marvel Rivals. They only know how to just go in and fight. A lot of the times they don't even wait for the team. They just go in by themselves and just keep doing it. And that's kind of their gameplay. So I want to know what you guys think. As I said before, let me know down in the comments below. And I do want to say, if you feel like you're that player, you're not bad. I'm not saying that the players that can't play other things are bad or they're horrible players. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they were able to climb without having to learn what everyone else had to learn, right? And I feel like that shouldn't happen. If you're a strategist player, you have to learn how to deal with dives. You have to learn how to position. You have to learn how to do things. If you're a tank, same thing. If you're a dive tank, not really. If you are a DPS and you're playing Hawkeye or Hela, you do have to learn how to position, how to like defend and all that extra stuff. But if you're playing a dive DPS, you don't. And so I just want to know what you guys think. And I do understand this is a baby game, right? And when I say it's a baby game, it's a young game. It hasn't aged yet. But I do hope that we do something about it, because dive characters are very difficult to deal with. It's not a sense of like players don't understand how to deal with it. It's that there's a lot more to dealing with a dive, and the only way you can really get around it, if there's multiple of them, is communication. But you shouldn't be forced to get on comms and communicate with others to deal with dive characters. Like that's how you know it's literally overloaded, and they need to do something about it. So I haven't read the patch notes, as I said before, but we do know that they addressed it, and I hope they continue to address it. I think that some characters need to rework, because some of them are just outright incredibly difficult to deal with, and it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't just pick a character and just be hard to deal with randomly. Most characters should have a weakness, and it should be a very obvious weakness. It shouldn't be something where you need a specific one character to deal with it. That's kind of a little ridiculous. It should be a pool of characters that is able to deal with certain characters. You know what I mean? Now we're moving on to this section of hashtag Let's Talk. If you guys want me to answer any of your questions that you guys have in the comments, just make sure you do hashtag Let's Talk in front of it. I will respond and put you in the video and feature you. All right, so hopping into this hashtag Let's Talk from Lemon Tart. What do you think about the Chrono Shield ticket? Know that it's only for lower ranks and not for sale, but it seems like it could be a big problem. On one hand, it makes lower ranks less stressful for people who are stuck in ranks. On the other hand, it will lead to rank inflation. What if it's a precursor to them selling these tickets? So I don't think the tickets will, anyone who wants to use the tickets or are excited about the tickets are most likely players who just want to reach gold and then never play again. Like never play ranked until the next season. So realistically, I don't think anybody cares. And then in terms of rank inflation from that, it shouldn't happen. Think about it this way. If you were to be a regular bronze player, right, and you lost, the shield doesn't prevent you from losing. The shield just prevents you from going down. So regardless, you still need to reach the rank, right? You're not going to be like, if I were to have 100 of these tickets, and okay, I won't say me because I already did it, but let's just say, I don't know, a bronze player, just for the sake of the argument, a bronze player has 100 of these tickets. They're not going to hit diamond. They're still a bronze player. They're not going to hit eternity. They're not going to hit one above. They're still bronze, right? So it's not going to change anything. It just helps you feel better about losing. And I'm pretty sure they already thought about this. They already thought about like how it would affect ranked, and I'm pretty sure they realized by their test results of having the shield, even though you don't have it consecutively, just kind of looking at the data, I'm pretty sure that they have it, and it says that the people that have the shields don't end up climbing faster. They still climb the exact same. If you deserve to be a higher rank, you'll get there, and if you don't, you won't. So I don't think it's going to do anything, and in terms of them selling it, I don't think they will. Pointless. Why would you sell it? I just don't think, it doesn't really make much sense to sell it. So just in short, I don't think that it's going to cause any inflation, and I don't think that it's going to it's gonna sell anything. Anyone who's excited about this are just players who most likely will stop at gold, and then they'll be done for the season and move on to the next one for the skin. The next Let's Talk is from Sir Khab Singh. I feel like I said that and I butchered it wrong. I apologize if I did. Please forgive me. Hashtag Let's Talk. Love your videos, man. Can you tell me how to get better with mag? I'm almost Lord on him, but I still feel like I'm lacking. I need help, bro. I've actually been playing a lot of mag. So the thing that pretty much trips up a lot of players with mag is not understanding spacing and not understanding that Magneto is a poke character, nothing else. So when you play Magneto, when you're looking and scanning for KOs, you're looking to shoot past the tank. You're not actually looking to take the fight with the tank in front of you. So yes, you can hit them, but when you see someone out of position behind them, you need to shoot behind them. Again, a lot of it is keeping space. If they approach you, you need to back up. It kind of sucks because you're giving the space, and that's different from playing passive. What you're doing is you're looking to win the team fight first and then move forward. People think that they kind of confuse moving back to keep the distance with just like retreating and giving up space. A lot of mag players don't do it right, which is why it looks like how it looks. But what you want to do is only back up to an extent, hurt them a little bit, and as they start moving back, you move forward. And you just kind of control that space. A lot of Magneto players, however, just like run away super far back and then just sit there and throw stuff. No, you need to damage and move forward as they retreat because they're getting poked, they're getting hurt, they move back, they get scared, you got to take it. And you keep doing that over and over and over. And that's going to be how you be successful with Magneto. So I hope that helped. If you want one of your replays looked at, just check the breakdown video, link in the description below as well, for a free replay review, and I can take a look for it. Okay. Again, if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you do that hashtag Let's Talk, and you can be featured in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. Cool often.